There will come a time when a blue star will appear in the sky. Its light will shatter the darkness of the night. This blue star will bring a wind like that which has not been seen on Earth in a long time. The blue star will bring a fire. This fire will be so bright and hot that it will transform the matter of the universe. The blue light from this star is a signal that shall end the fourth world. The blue star will cause the oceans to rise and topple upon the land, flooding the world. All living things will perish in this great catastrophe. A people with no memory of the past are a people with amnesia. It may be that our planet's legends and myths are really a forgotten memory. A memory so terrible that amnesia may have been the only cure.
Hello, I'm Johanna Lambert. Welcome to Earth Under Fire. Almost every culture preserves myths describing humanity's endurance of past events involving major loss of life on a global scale. Our ancestors tell us of endless days of darkness, of temperatures high enough to ignite wooded hills, of vast deluges covering all but a few mountain peaks. Today, we consider these stories as myths, legends, or highly imaginative tales. But could they be true? What if there really was a gigantic disaster? Is it possible that an ancient advanced civilization may have left a message for us about this catastrophe? Astrology was once considered an advanced science. Today, it is relegated to the fringes of our reality. Yet, there appears to be another side to astrology that only now, aided by the advancement of science, are we in a position to fully understand. Regardless of whether one believes that planetary energies shape human events, many may be surprised to learn that astrology's symbols convey a highly sophisticated astronomical and geological message. This message was first discovered by Dr. Paul La Violette. In his most recent work, Earth Under Fire, he has utilized ancient celestial and astrological symbolism, as well as astrophysics, to decipher this message, which was evidently left by ancient astronomers for future generations. This message concerns a cosmological disaster, perhaps the worst to ever have afflicted the human race. A disaster which, according to Dr. La Violette, was initiated by an explosion of our galactic core. Moreover, this ancient message warns that this tragedy could happen again, and indeed that it may occur at vast periodic intervals throughout the cosmic history of the Earth. Of the hundreds of millions of stars that make up our galaxy, those orbiting closest to its center congregate into a dense spherical mass called the nuclear bulge. Further out, stars orbiting the galactic center congregate into a number of gaseous star-studded spiral arms that extend tens of thousands of light years outward from the center bulge along its equatorial plane. From a great distance, our galactic homeland would look like an enormous glittering pinwheel. Our solar system is situated about 23,000 light-years from the galactic center. Our Sun and the Earth lie at the fringe of one of its spiral arms. On a clear night, the stars forming the galaxy's spiral disk may be seen stretching across the heavens as a faintly luminous band of light known as the Milky Way. Although the outline of the galaxy's spiral arm is visible to the naked eye, the galactic center itself is hidden from view. The galactic center only becomes visible during a galactic core outburst. Even with the aid of optical telescopes, The center of the galaxy cannot be seen directly due to the dense clouds of cosmic dust that concentrate along the galaxy's equatorial plane. Even though we can't see the center of the galaxy, apparently the authors of the Zodiac knew of its location. The signs for each of the 12 constellations have been around since ancient times. The glyphs for Scorpio and Sagittarius are the only ones among the zodiacal signs to incorporate arrows, and both are adjacent in sequence. When arranged to reflect the way these constellations actually appear in the sky, these two arrows or pointers are seen to face one another, as if they were indicating some position in the sky. In fact, they appear to be intentionally pointing out the location of galactic center. It may, therefore, be far from coincidental that amongst the ancient characters assigned to play specific roles in the zodiac, that the sign Sagittarius is portrayed as an archer. And he is aiming his arrow almost directly at galactic center. We also find that the tail of the Scorpion is very near galactic center. In fact, two of the stars that make up the Scorpion's tail, Lambda Scorpio and Upsilon Scorpio, are named Shala and Lisath in Arabian star charts. Both of these mean the sting. When lines are added to connect these three tail stars with the galactic center, Scorpio takes on the shape of an upward arching arrow. Since the galactic center can at times release lethal outbursts of cosmic ray particles, such deadly symbolism is quite appropriate. However, the archer in Sagittarius is not pointing his arrow directly at the center of our galaxy. If we lead a trajectory in the direction that Sagittarius is presently aiming his arrow, we find that it misses the galactic center by 2.5 degrees of longitude. Using a computer-aided star map, we can see that there was a time when Sagittarius aimed his arrow much closer to the center of our galaxy. Looking at the position of these stars as they were in earlier times, we find that Sagittarius was aiming directly at the heart of the Scorpion about 16,000 years ago, or about 14,000 BC. Such a precise indication of the galactic center's location is quite astounding. It isn't what we would usually attribute to the abilities of so-called Stone Age man. As we noted earlier, the galactic center's position is heavily obscured by interstellar dust and therefore is not directly visible with optical telescopes. Harlow Shapley, working with the 60-inch telescope at Mount Wilson above Los Angeles in 1917, determined the near position of the location of the center of the galaxy. He was off the mark by 3.3 degrees of arc. However, the ancient Sagittarius constellation indicates the galactic center location with an accuracy 8 times better than Shapley's estimate. The zodiac's message indicates that on this trajectory date, a galactic center energy creation event became visible and began to have a catastrophic effect on our planet, the Earth. Scientists found that the core of an active galaxy can shine brighter than the galaxy itself. That is, cosmic ray electrons streaking away from the galactic core close to the speed of light produce a bluish-white light so bright that it masks the light from the galaxy's spiral arms and surrounding massive stars. When in an active phase such as this, spiral galaxies are called Seyfert galaxies, named after their discoverer, Carl Seyfert. Astronomical surveys show that about one spiral galaxy out of every 5 to 7 presently exhibits Seyfert-like characteristics. On photographic plates, however, the intensity of the outburst can be sufficiently subdued so that the galaxy's spiral arms can be distinguished, affirming that those luminous outbursts are indeed spiral galaxies in an active phase. Astronomers have come to realize that galactic core explosions occur in all spiral galaxies, even our own, and although the majority of galaxies have a normal appearance with no sign of major core activity, they are simply galaxies whose cores happen to be in their quiescent phase. The statistics suggest that a galaxy core resides in the quiescent phase about 80 to 85% of the time. It spends the other 15 to 20% of its time in an active state, with eruptive episodes lasting from hundreds to several thousands of years. There is abundant evidence that the core of our galaxy has undergone a major explosion episode comparable to those we observe taking place in Seyfert galaxies throughout the universe. Dr. Paul Laviolette's research demonstrates that the zodiacal cryptogram may have been devised as an attempt to communicate to future generations the knowledge of this pervasive galactical cycle. In light of Dr. Laviolette's work, we were able to ask ourselves some astounding questions, such as, were the ancients who intuited the symbolic content of celestial and zodiacal patterns attempting to tell us something?